Hello guys, welcome to Universe. We're going to create this ocean in Blender. First, I'm going to delete my default, X to delete. Let's go to front view and add a plane, Shift A to add a plane. Then let's go to our modifier. Let's go to physics and add ocean. Ocean Modifier in Blender is a very powerful tool designed to simulate realistic ocean surfaces and water bodies. It's particularly useful for creating expansive water areas with animated waves and detailed textures. Let's go to the settings. I'm going to set my geometry to generate. If you notice, you'll see the repeat X and Y right here. This feature is used to extend the ocean surface seamlessly in both the X and Y direction. So when you increase the value of X, it repeats in the X axis. And when you do the same for the Y axis, when you increase the value of Y, it repeats or duplicates in the Y axis. So let's take this back to 1. Let's take the repeat X to 1. The resolution determines the detail level of the generated mesh. Higher value offer more details, but increases the processing time. You need to be very cautious with the resolution setting. Higher values can slow down your PC, so I strongly advise you to optimize based on your needs. So let's increase the resolution to at least 15. You can go for something higher or something lower, depending on the kind of system you are using. Then let's increase the render to 32. Render is a very special setting used to control the final resolution and quality of the ocean surface for rendering purposes. So I think 32 is okay. You can also go for something lower, depending on the kind of system you are using. Then to animate our ocean, we will need to keyframe our time value. If you pay attention, you will notice the changes on our ocean. So let's take this back to 1. So I'm going to use hashtag frame and let's see what happens when we play this. If you notice, this is very fast and not looking too realistic. So let's take this back. I'm going to add 15. Divide by 15. I'm going to divide this by 15. Let's play this and see how it looks. You see, it's not looking bad. You can go with this, but I want to increase mine to 40. Let's divide this by 40, 40. And let's play this and see. If you notice, this is slow, kind of, but it's okay for me. I think I like it this way. So you can increase yours if you want it to be slow. Then you can also reduce the value if you want it to be very fast. The depth sets the depth of the ocean. Deeper settings affect wave shapes and speed. So we're not going to touch this depth. Then let's go to the size. The size controls how large the ocean appears. So when we increase the value, you can see how large it's getting. So let's take this back to 1. And then the partial size affects the overall scale of the ocean. Let's set this to 150 and see how it looks. You can see how large it's looking. So if you want something very large, if you want your ocean to appear very large, you can go with this. I'm going to take this back to 50. So for the random seed adjusts the seed value of the wave generation, enabling different wave patterns without changing other settings. So we can increase the randomness. We can increase it to 22 or more, depending on how you want it to be. So I think 22 is good. Then let's go to the wave. So the scale modifies the overall wave height. So if you increase the value of the scale, you can see how it modifies the overall wave height. So let's take this back to 1 and let's increase the value to 1.2. Then let's change this smallest wave to 0. Or we can just leave it that way. Choppiness adjusts the sharpness of the wave peaks. So let's set this to 2.60. Or let's just try. Let's increase this value and see what happens. You can see it adjusts the sharpness of the wave peaks. Let's bring this back and let's set this to 2.60. The wind velocity affects wave speed. Higher wind velocities produce more intense waves. So we're going to leave this way. Then let's go to the foam and turn this on. And then let's name this as foam. Foam. So we're going to use this to get a realistic foam textures. Let's add materials to our ocean. First, let's name this as ocean. Then let's open another 3D viewport right here. And then let's add a random material to our ocean. Let's bring this up. And let's go to shader editor. Then let's add material to our ocean. So I'm going to name this material ocean. Let's switch to material view by pressing Z on our keyboard. So we'll see what we're doing. I'm going to make this blue. Let's have that blue color. And then let's bring this down. So I'm going to reduce the roughness to 0.01. Then let's increase the specular to 1. Let's increase the transmission to 1. Reduce this IOR to 1.33. Okay, I think that's not bad. Then let's add attributes, Shift A to add an attribute node. Then let's add a color ramp, Shift A to add a color ramp. Then let's add a Emission Shader. Then let's add an emission to this, Shift A to add an emission. So I'm going to name this our attributes. I'm going to name this foam. Then I'm going to set this darker area at the middle. Let's put it at the middle, right here. Then let's connect factor to our ColorRamp factor. And then let's connect our ColorRamp color to our Emission Shader factor. And then let's disconnect our BSDF from this material output surface. And then let's connect our emission to our shader. Then let's connect our Emission Shader to our BSDF. Then let's connect our material output surface to our Emission Shader right here. So if you pay attention, you'll notice what we have actually done. You see the foam. So this is looking quite cool. I think I like it. So it's already looking like an ocean. So if you want, you can increase the emission. You can also bring this up. You can bring this up depending on what you actually want to achieve. So let me arrange this so you actually see what we have actually done. So let's make this darker a little bit. Then let's go to our render. Let's go to our render view. Let's go to our world properties. Then let's go to color and add a sky texture. So guys, let's turn off this sun disks and then let's go to our world right here and change this from object to world. So right here, let's increase the altitude to 2. I think 2 is okay. 2m is okay. Then let's increase the air 2.6. Yeah, 2.6 is not bad. Then let's increase the dots to, okay, I think 0.7 is not bad. So let me just make it 0.7. Then let's leave the ozone this way. Then let's reduce the strength of our wall to at least 0.4, 0.04. Okay, that's looking okay, that's not looking bad. For now, let's just leave this for now. And then let's add a mapping node and texture coordinate to this by pressing Ctrl T. If you don't see this when you press Ctrl T, don't worry, just go to edit, then go to preferences, go to add-ons and search for node wrangler. It's already turned on, that's why you're seeing it tick it, then load preferences and then turn this off. Let's go back to solid view. Let's divide our word. Let's move this back. So before any other thing, let's add a UV sphere to our scene. Let's add our sun to our scene. So I'm going to join these areas. Join these areas. And join these areas. So let's add a sun to our scene. Shift A to add a UV sphere. Then let's create another word. And then let's change this to rendered view. So we'll see what we're doing. Then let's create another word here. And then let's change this to our timeline. So I'm going to select this UV sphere and let's move this back and move it up to somewhere here. And let's shade this smooth. Let's move it back a little bit. And then let's scale it up a little bit. So guys, let's change this to shader editor. Let's change this to object from word. Let's add a material to this and name it sun. So let's change this Principled BSDF to emission. Let's make this orange and let's increase the strength. So guys, let's add an RGB to this. I want this to be very bright. Shift A to add an RGB node. Let's connect the color to color. And then let's make this orange. Let's keep this between orange and yellow. Okay, I think that's not bad. So let's bring this down. And then let's place our cursor here. Shift right click to place our cursor here. And then let's add a light to this, a sunlight to this. So I'm going to increase the value to 4. And then let's change the color to in between orange and yellow. I think that's okay. You can copy the hex code. Okay, I think that's not bad. Alright guys, let's add camera to our scene. Shift S to place cursor toward origin and Shift A to add camera. Let's add camera to our scene. Let's change this to solid view and let's change this view to our rendered view to see what we're actually doing. Okay, I think we need to do some adjustments right here. Let's change this to shader editor. And let's change this from object to word. Then let's go to our mapping node. Okay, so before then, let's snap our camera to view by pressing Ctrl Alt Numpad 0 to snap our camera to view. So I'm going to use fly mode to bring this out a little bit. Okay, somewhere there is not bad. Then let's go to our world. Let's go to our mapping node. Let's increase the location. I think I want this to go up a little bit. Let's increase this to 0.3 is not bad. Let's reduce the strength of our world. Let's make this 0.02. Okay, I think that's not bad. Let's bring this up a little bit, I think, or you can bring it down depending on how you want it. For our lights, we just need to, let's just scale this in a little bit, and let's bring this to the center of our UV sphere. We can just rotate this out a little bit. Let's snap our camera and let's just rotate this out. Okay, I think that's not bad. So guys, let's increase our ocean. Let's just go to our modifier. Let's go to repeat S and let's increase this to 2. And then let's go to repeat Y. Let's increase this to 2. And then let's select our ocean and let's just adjust this. Let's move this to the center. Okay, I think that's not bad. So let's move our UV sphere. Let's move our sun. Let's move our sun back. So you can increase the strength of our sun. You can increase yours to 8 or more, depending on how you want it. So we're going to leave this way. We're not going to scale it. We're not going to scale our sun. I think I just want it to be this way. So let's reduce this to 4. I don't want it to be too much. And then let's bring this down. Let's bring this down. And let's bring this up. And then let's select our UV sphere and let's scale it up a little bit. So we can just scale this a little bit, S to scale. We can just scale this a little bit and snap our camera to view to see. So we can just adjust this, move this to the side a little bit. Okay, I think that's not bad. Then let's move our sun. So let's just move this back. Or you can move it front, anyhow you want it. You can just scale this out a little bit to fit in. Then let's move this back a little bit. So guys, let's select our camera and then let's go to our viewport display. Let's go to this composition guide and let's turn on this center. So let's select our sun and then let's place this at the center. So I'm going to select our UV sphere and I'm going to scale it and place this at the center. Same with our sun. So let's go to our world and let's rotate this a little bit. 0.2. Okay. I think 0.2 is okay. Let's keep this at 0.2 and then let's keep this at 0.4. So let's go back to rendered view and then let's change this to cycles. Okay guys, let's snap our camera by pressing Ctrl Alt 0. Okay, that's not looking bad. Then let's go back to our world. Let's reduce this to 0.2 and let's increase this to 0.4. Okay, I think that's not bad. So let's go to cycles. Let's change this from CPU to GPU. Then let's turn off this noise and let's turn on the noise. Then let's turn on this simplify. Then let's go to our color management. Go to look and let's change this to very high contrast. So guys, I'm going to select my UV sphere. Let's add a noise to this. Shift A to add a noise. A noise texture. And then Ctrl T to add a texture coordinate. Then I'm going to add a matte node to this. Let's move this up. Shift A to add a matte node. Then let's connect this value to the strength. And then let's connect this factor to the value. And then let's increase the value. And then let's reduce this to 500. Then let's turn on this simplify. It's already turned on. Let's set this to multiply. And let's increase the value. And let's render this as an image. So now our image has rendered. You can see how it's looking, which is not bad. Let's go back to Blender. And then let's go to Compositor. Let's move this back. So I'm going to add a glare node to this. Then Shift A to add a glare node. Then let's place this here. Then let's change this to fog glow. And then let's change this to the medium to high. And then let's use Shift Control right click to see how this is looking. So let's add a sunbeam to this. Shift A to add a sunbeam. So let's put this here. And then let's increase the gray length to 1. And let's position this at the center of our sun. And then let's Shift Control left click to see what we are doing. So this is how this is showing. So we can just go back to our render. So this is how it's showing on our render. So let's go back to Blender. So let's add a filter to this. Shift A to add a filter. So I'm going to change this soften to subtle. So I'm going to reduce the factor a little bit, and then I'm going to press Shift Control left click to see what this is doing. So guys, this is how it's showing. So let's bring the factor down a little bit. So this is how it is. So you can play around this factor to get what you actually want. So I think it's okay like this. Okay, I think this is not bad, but we'll still come back to this. So let's add a blur node to blur this whole stuff out. Shift A to add a blur node. Let's put this here. And then let's increase this to 5 at least. Then let's add a mist color to this. Shift A to add a mist color. Let's put this here. So I'm going to disconnect this. Then let's connect this image to our sunbeam. So this is how our image is looking. Let me position this very well so you see. Then let's add another mist shader. Shift A to add another mist shader, mist color. Then let's connect the image to this image. Then let's connect our second image to our glare node. Then let's press Shift A to add a denoise to this. Okay, then A to select everything. Let's bring this down a little bit. Let's press Shift Control left click to view this. Okay, this is how it's looking. It's not bad. This is how it's looking. So guys, let's press Shift Control left click on our sunbeam to see how this is. Let's position this very well. And then let's go back to our mist color. And then let's press Shift Control left click to view this. Then let's reduce the factor to something around here. And then let's reduce this factor. Let's play around. You can play with this factor. You can play around this factor. Let's reduce this. And then let's reduce this sunbeam. Then let's connect this second image to our first mist color image. Let's press Shift Control left click on our first mist color to preview what we have actually done. Then let's go back to our render, our first render. So guys, this is actually how it's looking. So you can play around with these nodes to get what you actually want. Then let's go back to our 3D viewport. Let's move our ocean backward a little bit. And then let's rotate this down a little bit. Then let's rotate this down. Then let's bring this down. I don't want it to be casting sharp light on our ocean. So guys, we're going to render this and see how it's looking. So you can play around with these nodes to get what you actually want. You can play around with them. You can increase the threshold. You can reduce the factor. You can reduce the factor. Then you can increase this to 10. So let's go back to our 3D viewport. Let's snap our camera. So we're going to render this again to see what we have actually done. So I'm going to go to our render and render this as an image. Alright guys, so this is our final render. This is how it's looking. It's not bad. So you can play around with the nodes to get what you actually want or what suits you. Alright, if you made it to the end, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is actually the first video I created before doing this tutorial. Hope to see you in my next video.